To validate if all the requirements have been met.
Any other definitions?
To make sure the software is defect free.
So, okay, Sudha is introduced a new terminology called as defect. Okay, what do you mean by defect?
Defect is any kind of error or interruption that is interrupting the application is not to work.
Okay, what is the difference between bug and error?
Bug, I think we can fix it. Error, I'm not sure.
Okay. What kind of testings we can conduct? Anyone?
Unit test, integration test, user acceptance test, performance testing, code testing,
Okay.
functional testing.
Okay. So you guys are telling about so many types of testings like performance, load, functional requirements, so many testing types. Okay. So is anyone know about the sequence? Now, why we need to conduct these many of the testings? So when we need to conduct this performance testing, when we need to conduct load testing, or we just conduct testing?
Validation of each and every.
Bit loud, bit loud. Nitya, I'm not able to hear you.
Unit testing is like each component we have to test. It's like each and every object on a page. That would be unit testing. We do validations also with that. Then integration testing, kind of checking the whole web page.
So why we need to conduct integration, all these testings, Nitya? So why we need to conduct first of all? So why can't you just go and test, just verify something and see the output, whether you are getting output or not, then close it?
We have to check whether it is disrupting any other already existing functionality.
So, see, already functionality, suppose you have developed a new system, okay? So now you are trying to
we are trying to kind of force the error out and check if if the happy path works first, then the other stuff, when we try if it is working fine or not, we have to find it. Because the user can kind of do anything with the software.
Okay. No. Okay, fine. No, understood. Okay. Now tell me, is there any error types I have seen so far? Any errors you guys seen? Maybe you don't think that you worked on the testing. Don't think something like that. Maybe you have placed maybe online shopping cart or something you have used, some applications. Maybe you found some kind of errors. Any error types you know?
Error 404, page not found.
Okay, what exactly is that? Why we will get that page, that kind of error?
Dead link actually. It doesn't go to any page.
So why?
The server is down.
Page to navigate to.
So because of server down, you're going to get 404 error?
No. You have a link, but when you click it, it doesn't take to any page. So the page doesn't exist.
The page is not exist.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the reason we'll get 404 error. Okay.
I think so.
So any other types of errors? Error types. I just want to hear something on testing from you guys, so that according to that I will plan the session. No, I'm sure if you guys don't know even about anything about testing, but still fine. But I just want to understand the few basic concepts of the testing. Okay, let's try to understand the entire testing process with this particular process flow diagram, guys. Please try to focus. This is very important. And once you clear with this process flow diagram, definitely I'm saying you'll also going to clear with the testing process, entire testing process, not like bit and pieces. Okay. Think that you have to you have a requirements, maybe it's a BRD or FRD or SRS. So you have a system, ready available system. Think that based on according to the BRD and FRD, the development team developed a system, right? So someone need to there and verify whether this requirements, whatever the requirements is asked for, this requirements has been implemented within the system. Someone need to go and verify. The verification is important. Testing is very important. So why we need to verify? Developer is saying, we have developed whatever the client asked, we have developed it. You no need to verify. But still, why we need to conduct QA testing kind of stuff? Why we need to conduct? We want to make sure that before delivering this system to the end user, it's a kind of one level of additional level of testing, or verification. So we want to make sure that the end user using the right system for the right purpose. Right system and right purpose. Think that the BRD specifies that the tax rate is 7% and the system showing is 9%. But when end user use this system and the calculation is happening on the 9% and is getting the results is a huge amount, maybe there is a difference in the amount pay, right? So if the end user sees this kind of issues, the end user never come to you and never come again and place any kind of orders, right? So these kind of errors we need to avoid. This type of errors is called as a functional errors. These are functional errors. Why I am saying is a functional errors? Because this 7% is a requirement, it's a business requirement. So the business requirements we have converted into the functional requirement. So this is going to be a requirements docs. In the requirements docs we clearly mentioned it's a 7%, but the development team somehow they misunderstood and they have implemented with the 9%. So when you see the difference between your expected, what is the expected? What is the expected results, guys? So expected is going to be 7%. Yes or no?
Yes.
Expected results, expected calculation is going to be on 7%. But what is the actual results?
10%.
It's going to be on 9%. So when you look at E is expected not equal to A. What do you mean by A? Actual, right? So the expected results is going to be 7%, and actual results is 9%. So there is a mismatch between expected results to actual results. So when you see this kind of mismatch, normally we'll say it's a failed condition. Why we are telling it's a failed condition? Because expected value is not matching with the actual value, or actual value is not matching with the expected value. Is everyone clear what I'm trying to explain? Right. So when actual value is not matching with expected value, the condition will say it's a failed condition. This means that the system is not meeting the requirements is demanded by the client. The system is unable to deliver the requirements, right? So if think that the expected value is 7% and the actual system, okay, after implementation, when end user use the system and end user is getting with the 7%, it means that the expected value is matching with the actual value, or actual results is matching with the expected results, and we'll say it's a pass. Okay, testing, all the entire testing talks about fail and pass, guys. Yes, is everyone clear what I'm trying to explain? So the entire testing talks about only two things. One is pass and one is fail. So when you will say fail and when you will say pass, if E equal to A or A equal to E, will say pass. If E not equal to A, will say fail. It means that whatever the actual results you are getting, that actual results is not matching with your expected results, okay, then we'll say it's a failed condition. This is what this is not expected by the customer. The customer is expected something else. So if you go with the other simple example, the login example, think that you will go to enter the username and password, and when you click on submit, okay, when you click on submit, what will going to happen? What need to happen?
Verification needs to happen.
Right. So verification need to happen. What could be the results? What kind of results you are expecting as an end user?
You should be able to log into the system.
Right. It's able to log into the system. If here is a two conditions. If your expectation is it should log into the system. Your voice is not clear. Really? Is my voice is not clear, guys?
I'm able to hear.
Not sure.
Clear.
What about others?
Right, very clear. I'm able to hear as well.
Oh, great. Deepika, just see. I think some issue with your phone. Oh yeah, do that. Okay. So what we are expecting is when I enter valid username and valid password, and when I click submit, okay, when I click submit, it should go to the home page. That is what my expectation. As an end user, what I'm expecting is when I enter username and password and when I click submit, it should go to the home page. Maybe it even should display the confirmation message, then it should go to the home page. That is what my expectation. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I have a real-time system now, a login page with a username, password and submit button. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to enter valid ID and valid password, and when I click on submit, it's not going to the home page. It's not going to the home page, but it's displaying error message, some XYZ error message. This means that whatever you have expected, when you go to the reality, that is not happening. So it's nothing but the actual results is not matching with the expected results. That is always is going to be failed. When I say failed, okay, what type of error it is? When I say fail, it is going to be error, kind of bug. Okay, so the fail, when I say fail, what kind of failure it is? Whether it is a functional failure, or whether it is a performance failure, or whether it is something else, UI failure. So you need to understand the type of failure. Now everyone will say it's a failed condition, but what type of failure it is, right? Once you understand the type of failure, and you need to understand the severity of that particular failure. So if I'm not able to log in, so hence I cannot do anything. So if I'm able to log in only, I can able to place the order, maybe I can able to do some other transactions. So in these kind of failures, suppose I'm not able to log in at all, so these kind of errors are called as a fatal errors. So there is no other option for you to do any other transactions. So that also you need to understand. It's not only just understanding the fail and pass, and you need to understand what kind of failure it is. right? Why we are getting that failure, the failed condition? So you need to go back as a business analyst, you need to verify your business requirements and make sure that they have implemented according to your BRD. So there are so many things you need to do, when you involve in the testing process. Okay, just try to understand one by one. I'll explain the entire testing process with the diagram so that you can easily understand. Okay, before going to the diagram, just try to understand the development process. Okay, in the real time, how the things is going to be developed. Okay, think that we avoid that. Okay, once we own the project, maybe think that you need to implement a website for healthcare products, maybe cosmetics, whatever it is. Okay, this is what the project is all about. So we have to implement the e-commerce website for healthcare products. When I say e-commerce, so there need to be some kind of transactions. It's not only just displaying the products. Okay, there need to be some kind of transactions need to be involved, like online shopping, customer support. All these things is going to be involved in the e-commerce website. So this is what my requirements. Okay, I have gathered the requirements, I have prepared the BRD and the FRD, and yes, everything is ready with me. Now what the development team will do is, development team will start developing the project or according to the BRD and FRD. So where they will going to develop the system? So we are saying the development team will go ahead and develop the system. So where they will going to develop the system? Anyone? Now I am trying to discuss about the real-time scenario. Okay, how the things is going to be in the real time. So as a business analyst, you have prepared a BRD and FRD, so everything looks fine, and you have given that KT also to the development team. So the development team told you that okay, we will go ahead and we'll start the development work. So where they will going to develop? Is there any platform, lab? What kind of, where exactly they are going to develop the system? Yes, my question is clear.
On a platform, they may use a platform to develop, like Java or any of the languages.
That is technology. That is fine. So
okay,
where they will going to develop? No, you may say
they'll have a development environment.
Yeah, that is what I'm looking for. Okay, so you just cannot say the development X developer is developing system in his PC and Y developer is doing in PC. No, you cannot say like that. Okay, so in the real time environment, in the real time, we're going to have a different kind of environments that you need to understand, right? So so you're going to have one environment for the development team. Okay, that is dev environment. Okay, you just name it dev env. When I say dev env, it is a development environment. Is clear? So this environment, this setup is a playground for developers. It's just a playground for the developers, right? So here they also even use versioning control, maybe CS, CVS, or maybe what we have, VSS, Visual Source Safe. So we have different kind of tools for the version control, right? So what they will do is that developers will develop the system, the modules, okay, the forms, the code, whatever they want to do. They want experiment, they can do the experiments, and they can, once they're done with that, they're going to check in the final files. After reviewing that, if their development team lead and manager, they will review their code and they will going to check in that particular final code, right? So the development environment is required to develop any kind of system, right? So think that once they're done with the development, so that they feel that, okay, the developers feel that, okay, we have completed this particular website successfully. So what they will do, they will ask you directly go and test the application. What
they conduct unit testing.
Go ahead, someone. Varsha?
The developers will conduct a unit testing before sending it to the testing team.
Okay. Assume that they have conducted unit testing. They have conducted integration also.
They deploy it to the QA environment for testing.
Oh, which environment?
The QA environment.
Okay. What do you mean by QA environment?
So that's so they deploy the same software, the software they've developed, into a different set of servers where QA has access. That's solely for QAing purpose, testing purpose.
Right. So we have an environment colors, not exactly the QA environment, okay? Because even UAT also comes under QA, okay? So we cannot use a general terminology for environments. So once we done with the dev environment, as Hema said, as Varsha said, okay, so the unit testing, integration testing is already done. So now this code, whatever they have implemented in the dev environment, they will use a terminology called as a code move, okay? Code move or code release. Yes, please try to understand, okay? Understand the terminologies, okay? When you go for interview, please try to use these terminologies, okay? Code move or code release, okay? What the development team will do in big companies, if you go with the big companies, we're going to have a release team separately, okay? We're going to have a release team. What the development team will do is, development team build a RAR file or WAR file, whatever it is. This depends on the environment or technology, and that give to the release team and ask them to deploy or move or code release into SIT environment. This is the second environment. Please try to understand SIT environment. What do you mean by this? System integration testing environment. System integration testing environment. Don't think that this is integration testing. No, this is system level testing. So we're going to have a environment called as a SIT testing. SIT environment. SIT environment is nothing but system integration testing environment. So the release team will move the code or deploy the code in the SIT environment, right? Once the code has been deployed into the SIT environment, okay, so now developers are not entitled to do any additions, changes, modifications in the SIT environment. That is one fundamental rule, right? Once the SIT is ready, what the testing team will do is, now testing team will start conducting testing according to the business requirements. Maybe they'll write the test cases, they'll execute the test cases, they'll make sure that everything is working fine. So if you feel that there are few issues, and they'll communicate back to the development team, and the development team will fix again and again. When they fix 2 bugs, again they have to release a next version, yes or no? So they have to redeploy the code in the SIT environment with the fixes, right? Again the testing team will conduct again. So this is a this kind of process is going to be involved between the dev environment and SIT environment. Okay, once the SIT environment is stable and the testing team certifies, okay, the SIT environment is stable now, so everything is working according to the requirements, right? Then what again the release team will do is, the release team will move the code to the next level of environment. The next level of environment is UAT environment. Maybe different companies use different kind of terminologies, but in general, so we're going to have a dev environment, we're going to have a SIT environment, that is for system integration testing. Then we're going to have a UAT environment. So UAT is nothing but UAT is nothing but you say user acceptance testing environment. So this user acceptance testing environment is a final round of testing, is normally conducted by the business analyst, end users, maybe within your organization the project managers and VP levels, maybe someone, okay, who have a understanding toward the functionality. They can go ahead and they can verify in UAT testing. Okay, so if think that okay, you have identified any errors, not business analyst, anyone, if think that end user is identified some 10 bugs, so the end user will communicate with the business analyst maintain the bug report, and will coordinate with the development team and make sure that they have fixed that, and they again go to the SIT environment, then again go to the UAT environment. That is your role here as a business analyst. You need to coordinate with end users. So think that in the UAT testing everything looks fine. So now even the end user is saying, certifying, stating that boss, whatever you have developed, you have developed according to my requirements. So what could be the next step? What could be the next step, guys?
Production.
So production, what do you mean by production?
The software is the live environment or the real-time environment?
Live environment or real-time environment. Okay, fine. That is production. Fine. So before going to the production in the large organizations, when I speak something, some project is going to be a large organization or large project. Okay. So in the large organizations, they are going to have one more environment before going to the live, that is called as a staging environment. I'm not sure how many guys used this staging environment so far. So we're going to have one more environment called as a stag environment. The stag environment is nothing but staging environment. The staging environment is just a replica of your live environment, that is a production environment. Okay, there is nothing going to be any difference between stage to production, but we're going to have a additional environment called as a staging environment. What is the need of this staging environment? Because some critical projects, like sensitive projects, okay, is few sensitive and critical projects is going to be there. Think that tomorrow is your delivery date. Okay, so today night what we'll do is we'll move from UAT to the staging environment, because it's just a replica of the production. So whatever there in the live environment, the same as it is, with the data, with the number of fields, everything is going to be similar. It's just a replica. So when we move to the staging environment, and we'll see is there any unexpected errors we are getting in the staging environment. Yes, definitely there is a chance of getting some unexpected errors. Maybe it's due to software, and maybe due to hardware, and maybe due to the environment setup. Okay, so they will push the code to the staging environment, and they'll make sure okay there are no issues in the staging environment. If then they'll move to the live environment, that is a production environment, right? So once you move to the production environment, think that okay, you got some errors due to some software, maybe due to some hardware, whatever the reason. Okay, so what you're going to do now? Okay, you're going to roll back this, and again you're going to push this staging code to the production environment. It won't take more than 30 minutes to 1 hour time, right? So again, if you don't have this staging environment, what will going to happen? What will going to happen, guys? Think that you have moved directly the code from UAT to the prod, okay, with the real-time data, and you are seeing some kind of errors in the production environment. What we going to do? Is able to hear me?
Yes.
Right. So for the safer side, okay, Normally the organizations, the big organizations, they're going to have a staging environment. The staging environment is just a replica of the production. There won't be any difference in terms of hardware, in terms of software, in terms of web servers, in terms of application look and feel, architecture level. Everything is going to be same, but just it's a two environments. Okay, when end user hits, the end user hits to the production environment, not to the staging environment. So totally how many environments we have now? How many environments?
5.
4 or 5? 5. So one is dev environment and sit environment, UAT, stage and prod. So if you work for a small time company or maybe a small time company, maybe they'll say one is a dev environment, one is a testing environment, and one is a production environment. You will only
Thank you.
Is someone is asking some question? Okay. Guys, please keep in mute if you're not speaking. Okay, so if you work with a small time company, so you're going to have only 3 environments. One is a development environment, one is a testing environment, and one is a production environment. Okay, maybe you're not going to have a UAT environment separately, and you're not going to have a stage environment separately. Okay, so in the real time, when you go on, when you work with any organization, you're going to see these kind of environments, and people start speaking about these environments, and they said, okay, the dev team done with the development, and their code drop is tomorrow, and they are moving to the sit environment. So what do you mean by that? That's nothing but they have done with their coding part, and they are moving the code to the sit environment where the testing team can go ahead and execute their test cases. Okay, so now we are clear with these environments, but try to understand what development team, what kind of testing development team will do, what kind of testing the QA team or testing team will do. Okay, what kind of testing the business analysts and end users will do. That you need to understand now. Okay, for that we'll go back and we'll try to focus on the process flow diagram. So far everyone clear, guys? So far everyone clear?
Pawan, I had a question.
Go ahead.
When they go to the production environment and they find errors, you said that we roll back to the stage environment.
No. We'll roll back that code and we'll again move the code, whatever the code in the staging, the latest code will move to the production environment.
Okay. So once we reach production, in case there are any errors, then we would do the code change in stage?
No. We are not going to do any code change, because the same thing is going to be there in the staging environment, right? We'll take that deploy that var file, and I will again redeploy it to the production.
Okay.
Because once you reach to prod, you cannot do manipulations.
Yeah.
Guys, is everyone clear? Good. Right. So now just try to understand this testing process flow diagram, the process flow. I'm assuming that, okay, we are developing a system, some e-commerce website. Okay, the e-commerce website has a number of features and functions. Okay, the development team started off implementing each and every model, different kind of modules or different units. Okay, individually they'll go ahead and they'll develop different models. Models is nothing but units. Okay, I'm assuming that I have a different units or models. Okay, so I'm just trying to name it, say U1, unit 1, U2, U3, U4, UN. So UN is unlimited, maybe I just to understand. Okay, right. So now these are units. Okay, we know that this is units. So development team will go ahead and start developing these units, and what they will do is, once they're done with the development, okay, they will even conduct some kind of testing. The type of testing called as a unit testing. Okay, from their end, okay, they have to conduct, okay, a first round of testing on individual units. Okay, that is called as a unit testing. So what kind of testing they will do is, they are going to conduct functional testing, or they are going to conduct code level testing. So that you need to understand. Normally the development team will conduct code level testing, not the functional level testing, and they'll make sure that whatever they have written, that logic or business logic, whatever they have written, they'll make sure that everything is working according to the architecture or according to the design documents. Okay, that they will going to verify. The first level of testing is going to be done by the development team. So once they're done with that, okay, what kind of documents they will going to use to conduct this unit testing, that you need to understand. As I said, it's going to be unit testing. Okay, it's going to be unit testing. Okay, what kind of documents and what kind of documents they are going to refer is, they normally refer with an LLD document. What do you mean by LLD? What do you mean by LLD, guys?
Low level design.
Low level design documentation. Okay, document. So the type of testing is, what happened? Okay. So who will going to conduct this testing?
Developers.
Okay, by developers. Right. Here one more thing you need to understand, not only by developers, sometimes even test engineers also will conduct. Right. Now you can ask, so how the test engineers, why test engineers will conduct unit testing? Because few organizations, they recruit unit test engineers, okay, not developers. Few companies, they will recruit unit test engineers who have a clear idea about the coding, who can go ahead and you can debug the code and you can understand the code technology properly. So they will select few people and they'll ask them to conduct unit testing, and they'll ask them to prepare unit test cases and ask them to conduct unit testing. So normal test engineer cannot go ahead and conduct unit testing. If normal test engineer go ahead and conduct testing also, nothing will going to happen. So that is not going to be a proper testing. So by developers, normally maximum times developers will going to conduct, but few companies, large organizations, if they have a budget, okay, they will recruit unit test engineers separately. Right. So the unit test engineers will going to have an idea on coding, who can able to debug the code. So these kind of things, they can able to do it. So unit testing, people use LLD documentation. By whom? By developers and test engineers. So think that, okay, we done with this unit testing, the code level testing. So the next step is, what we'll do is, we'll try to integrate all these units into a single system, okay, to make sure that this integration is happening properly. So while integrating these units, and while integrating, please try to understand, not after integrating, okay, while integrating, we'll also conduct a testing, the testing called as integration testing, not after integration. Okay, so while integrating itself, we'll try to conduct a testing, the testing called as integration testing. Right, now the second level of my testing process is okay, I'll say it's an integration testing. Integration, I'm not going to say integration testing, it's going to be integration. So what I'm trying to do is, I'm just trying to I'm trying to integrate different modules into a single system. Okay, while integrating, we'll conduct one type of testing. The type of testing is, what type of testing we'll conduct?
Integration testing.
It is integration testing. So while conducting integration testing, what kind of document normally we're going to refer is HLD. What do you mean by HLD? What do you mean by HLD? High level design document. So this is also is conducted by the developers and test engineers. When I said test engineers, that is going to be a special case. Okay, so whatever you do, unit and integration, these two types of testing is going to be code level testings. Okay, in integration testing, we have types of integration testings. Okay, maybe you can say the types. Top to bottom, bottom to top. So what else, guys? We have different types of integration testings. So one is top to bottom testing, bottom to top. What else? Varsha, Nitya, I think you guys, I'm expecting some help from you guys. Nitya and Varsha, I believe you both are working at a QA, right? You guys there, Nitya?
Yeah.
You know testing, right?
Actually, I just attended the class.
Oh, not attended. You're working as a QA, right? No.
No, I'm not working still.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought like you were working. I think Varsha is working. Varsha, you there? Okay, fine. Okay, what kind of other type of testing we have in integration? So we have hybrid testing or sandwich testing. It's a combination of top to bottom and bottom to top testing. Okay, we'll say it's sandwich or hybrid testing. Okay, so we have three types of testings under integration something. Okay, so now we clear with the unit testing, now we clear with the integration testing. I'm just explaining the process flow. I'm not explaining what do you mean by unit testing, what do you mean by integration testing. You just try to understand the flow first, then tomorrow we'll start understanding what do you mean by unit testing, what do you mean by LLD, what do you mean by HLD, what is there in the HLD. Everything we're going to discuss. So once we're done with the integration, what we'll do is we'll move this code, that is, as I said, from the development environment to the next level environment, that is SIT environment, right? So even we'll also do the same. Okay, in the process flow diagram, I'm trying to keep. Okay, system. This is a final system. It's a stable system. Okay, So you can write it's a code move or release or build. Okay, we have different terminologies, you can use any terminology. So once you move that to the next level, okay, here we'll conduct one type of testing. Guys, is everyone clear so far? Guys, is everyone clear so far? Right. So now we're going to conduct one type of testing, that is system testing. Right. While conducting the system testing, so what kind of documentation we'll use is we'll use SRS. We're going to use SRS and FRD. Okay. While conducting system testing, we're going to use SRS and FRD docs. Right. Who is going to conduct this testing? By test engineers, not developers. Is everyone clear? So the system testing is conducted by the test engineers based on your SRS and FRD document. They will prepare their test cases and they will start executing. Is everyone clear so far? Right. Under system testing types, so we have different types of system testings normally we are going to conduct. So one is requirements testing, and few people say it's functional testing. Now, but I'm saying it's a requirements testing. Now few guys will normally use a terminology called as functional testing. Okay. The second type of testing is usability testing. Usability testing. And the third one is what we'll say performance testing. The fourth type of testing under system testing, when I say system testing talks about requirements testing, usability testing, performance testing. So what else we have? Security testing. So this is major 4 types of testings is involved under system testing. So as a test engineer, what they will do is they will try to conduct system testing. This is going to be the heading, system testing. So in order to conduct system testing, normally people use SRS and FRD docs by test engineers. Okay, the types of testings will go into the requirements and functional testing, usability testing, performance testing, and security testing. What do you mean by usability and how you are going to conduct usability? That we'll discuss later. First, try to understand types of testings, where and when. Simple logic. By whom? Okay. So once I am done with this process, okay, just I am moving to the next level. Okay. Before moving to the next level, okay, fine. That we'll discuss later. Okay. I'm just moving to the next level. The next level talks about acceptance testing. Okay. The next level talks about acceptance testing. So I'll say acceptance testing. Okay. Right. So here same again, code move and everything is going to happen as usual. So in the acceptance testing, what do you mean by acceptance testing? What kind of testing normally we're going to conduct under acceptance testing? Let's try to understand. So normally we'll conduct UAT testing. What do you mean by UAT? What do you mean by UAT? User acceptance testing. We'll conduct. So what kind of documents normally we use for user acceptance testing is FRD and BRD docs we're going to refer. So what types of testings we have under UAT is, so one is alpha testing, and we have one more testing called as beta testing. So we have two different types of testings under UAT, right? So the UAT, when you are conducting UAT testing, you are going to refer BARD and FRD documents, and you are going to, this is conducted by the test engineers, BAs and SMEs. What do you mean by SMEs, guys?
Subject matter
experts. That is called as a functional consultants. Okay, who have complete idea towards the system. Okay, so when I say system, it's going to be a functional system. Suppose you have implemented insurance system, maybe insurance agents will going to be there, and insurance functional consultants is going to be there. They'll also going to conduct this acceptance testing. Okay, then end users. Right. Is everyone clear so far?
Yes.
Right. So now I'm done with the acceptance testing. What we'll do is, the next level is going to be go live. So the next thing is going to be, okay, production. I cannot say production, but I'll say just go live. When I say go live is nothing but once everything is verified, okay, maximum bug fixed, it's now we can say, okay, 90% or 95%, you will going to have a matrix. Based on that, you will say, okay, this is accepted by the customer, and now we are moving to the go live. So when I say go live, now end users start using this particular application. So the last step is going to be the go live. So here we are not going to conduct any type of testing basically, but okay, what normally we'll do is, in general scenario, post-production testing also is going to be there. But if you look at any books, maybe any material, you are not going to see this post-production testing. Okay, post-production testing. In the real time, what will going to happen is, once everything is moved to the production, just to make sure that everything is working in production, we are not going to enter any data, any test data, nothing. We are not going to enter anything. We just make sure that, okay, all the navigations are working, the links are working properly. So these kind of high level smoke testing will going to conduct post production. When I say post production, is everything is moved to the go live. Now end users are using the same. Meanwhile, in the back end, in the background, you can also conduct a post production testing. Is everyone clear? That is called as a post production testing. For this, you don't need to use any special documents, nothing. You don't need to use anything. Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is all about your testing process, testing flow. Okay, so from where when you take up a new project, okay, how it is going to start and how it is going to be integrated, what kind of testings you're going to conduct, who will going to conduct. So what do you mean by system testing, UAT testing, how it will move to the go live. So now you guys need to understand other few concepts in the testing. Okay, I'm saying this unit testing and integration testing is a code level testing. It means that you'll see the code and you'll feel that you're going to see the logic of the that particular requirement, and whether they have written in if condition, else condition, or switch condition, whatever the condition. Okay, you're going to see and you're going to test it. Okay, that is code level testing, and we'll also have a different name for this code level testing. That will, the name is called as, I'll say, white box testing. So we have a different name for this. This is called as white box testing. So this white box testing is a for unit testing, and integration testing is also called as white box testing. So white box testing talks about, okay, talks about what? Talks about code level testing. So when I say white box, okay, go back and see, this is just example, okay. Think that, okay, you have a box, a transparent box, okay, or maybe jar. So in this, you have some items. Is these items are visible, guys? If I ask you to verify what is there in this jar, can you guys go ahead and tell me? Yes, yes or no?
Yes, we can.
Because it's a transparent, right? So this kind of testing, it means that you have a system, you have some business logic inside of the system code. You're going to verify this code, how this code has been written. Is this code has been written with the standards and design standards, or is according to the architect, or according to the coding standards. So then we'll see whether you are getting a results, correct results with this particular logic or not. So this is a white box, right? When you go to the black box, the other type of testing, that is a functional or system testing, we are not worry about the logic, what kind of logic they have written. So what we'll do is, we have a thing that a jar, a closed jar, we don't know what is there inside, okay, we don't know what is there inside, but what we can do is, we can fill water and we can see and what kind of output we are getting. So it means that we have a system, okay, we don't know what kind of code they have written. What we can do is, how we can test is, we just give some inputs, okay, definitely some process will going to happen. So how the process is going to happen, I don't mind, okay, and some output we will going to get. So the logic is a plus b equal to total. So if I give a value input as a10 and b is equal to 20, and you are expecting is a 30 as a results. So if you get a 30 as a results as output, okay, you'll say, okay, this system is working fine, right? If you are getting a 20 and you are going to say that, okay, the system is not working as expected, but you don't know what kind of code and how many lines of code they have written, whether they have written in according to the standards or not. So you least bother about that. So as a black box test engineer, what you will do is, you will just provide the inputs according to the business requirement, and you will make sure that you are getting output or not. Is everyone clear? Guys, is everyone clear? So
Yes.
guys, clear or not? This is black box testing. People use different terminologies, for that reason I'm just trying to explain. It's a technique, okay. So the white box testing goes for the unit and integration, and the black box goes for system and acceptance. Is everyone clear? So when you are doing a system testing or UI testing, you least bother about what is there inside. You only bother about if I am giving a input, so whether I am getting a proper output or not. Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Right. The next thing is, so we are saying, like, we have to conduct unit testing, we have to conduct integration testing, system acceptance, then it will go to the go live. Yes, done it. Okay. So is there any life cycle we have? Is there any life cycle we have to follow to conduct unit testing, integration testing, system testing? Because we are saying about, like, we have to use low level design documents. We're going to see the top level, top to bottom, bottom to top, sandwich, hybrid testing. So we have usability, performance testing, security testing. We are talking about so many things. Is there any cycle, is there any life cycle, or kind of SDLC we have in order to conduct testing? that you need to understand. So for software development purpose, we have one life cycle, that is SDLC. What do you mean by SDLC, guys? SDLC, software development life cycle. Is there any life cycle for the testing purpose? Yes, we have one life cycle for the testing purpose. That life cycle is a STLC, not it's a SDLC, it's a STLC. What do you mean by STLC?
Software testing life cycle.
Software testing life cycle. STLC. It's a software right. So now you need to understand one thing. This software life cycle, the testing life cycle is applicable, or you have to follow this life cycle throughout the testing process. You just cannot say I'll only use this testing life cycle for unit testing, I only use this for system testing and UI testing. No, this STLC life cycle you have to follow for all types of testings, the entire testing process. So I'm just go ahead and I'll do a kind of something like this to understand. So it means that, okay, this testing life cycle is applicable for all types of testing. So this is going to be the common. The testing life cycle is going to be the common process. Whether you conduct unit, integration, system and acceptance, you have to follow the testing life cycle. Okay, now what is there in the testing life cycle? You know, we know that in the SDLC we have different types of testing. Yes or no? So in the SDLC we have different kind of phases. Yes or no? What are the phases we have in the SDLC?
Analysis.
Yeah, analysis, design, test, coding, testing. Okay, now in STLC also we have different phases, guys. Just try to understand one by one. The first phase of in the STLC is a test plan. You have to come up with the test plan. The next one is the test case design. We're going to discuss what do you mean by test plan and test case design. Okay, so the second one is test case design. What is the third one? Anyone?
Test execution.
Okay. So someone said it's a test execution. Yes, it's correct. So what could be the next one? So I have planned, I have prepared the test cases, and now I'm executed. So what is the next one?
Test results.
Test results.
Test logging.
Tell me, test plan, test case design, test execution, result analysis is a fourth one. Okay, you have to analyze the results. So what could be the next? Once you analyze the results, what will you do? You'll prepare a bug report. Yes or no? Test plan, test case design, you're going to execute the test cases. Once you're done with the test case execution, then you'll go with the result analysis, pass, fail. So why you got a pass, why you got a fail, you know, if it is a fail, what is the priority and what is the severity, so what type of error it is. So that kind of analysis you have to conduct. That is going to be result analysis. Once you're done with the result analysis, you only take the failed conditions into the consideration and you're going to prepare a report. That report is called as a bug report. Once you're done with the bug report, and the final step or final phase in the STLC is test summary report. So with this summary report, your test manager or management take the decision. Okay, so how many bugs we have identified, how many test cases we have executed, how much percentage failed, percentage passed, whether we can move this to the next level or not. So based on the test summary report, they are going to take the decisions. Okay, so these many types of these many phases we have to understand under STLC. So is everyone clear so far? Good. Guys, any other doubts in the testing?
Pawan, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What would be the difference between the testing that's done by testers and by business analysts, excluding the usability, performance, and security, of course? Functional testing would be the same, right?
Yes. So the business analysts never think about performance and security, to be frank. Okay, the business analysts only make sure that whatever the requirements he gathered and he prepared is matching with the actual system.
So he'd be doing functional testing,
Definitely.
the entire functional
That's it.
testing.
His focus is going to be more on requirements and functional testing,
Okay.
not on usability, performance testing. See, his level of testing is going to be different from the test engineer's testing. See, test engineers always try to do positive, negative, give some junk data and whatever, do lot of experiments, yes or no. But when you come to the business analyst always think about the logic. The business analyst always think about the flow, business flow. Okay.
Okay. And they write test plans also?
Who is that? What is that?
The business analyst write the test plan also?
Yes. Test plan, no. Sometimes business analysts think that, okay, if you are working for a small organization, you don't have a test manager, okay, in your project manager ask you to come up with a test plan. There is a scenarios, okay, but in general business analyst is not going to prepare any test plan.
For UAT there's no test plan, right? Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have a test plan for UAT.
Okay, that was my question. Okay.
Definitely, you're going to have a test plan. That is what I'm telling. This STLC is a common for all types of testing. Okay, you are not going to have for the post production, at least for this, up to this. Okay.
Okay.
So whether you do UAT, whether you do system testing, whether you do some unit and integration, for unit also you are going to have a test plan. Okay. So is everyone clear, guys? Any doubts? Just look at this diagram and just let me know if you have any questions, concerns, so that, because from tomorrow what we'll do is, so we'll try to discuss more about white box, black box, and system testing, usability, requirements, performance, and security, and what do you mean by alpha, what do you mean by beta. So as a business analyst, what kind of role you have to play, how you need to prepare the test cases, what kind of templates you have to use. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow we're going to focus on the testing. So we'll take different kind of examples and we'll try to prepare test cases.
Pawan, this diagram would be available for us to view later.
Yes, I'll send this.
Okay.
Yes, any doubts before closing the session? Today I'll go ahead and I'll close the session. So tomorrow we'll start from the unit testing, then we'll go to integration.
Pawan, I did not get the Visio.
Visio?
Can I get?
You don't have a software?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll forward you that link, Raj. You can download.
Thank you.
Yes, any other doubts?
And you are going to send us even the rational root software